What? Yeah, exactly. There is English material, books, magazines, English publications. And the other thing they said was still a good way was a teacher. Okay. But now we're going to talk about online. You know online?
Yes.
Okay.
Allowing the English language to come to you. That's true. And that's why we've launched a brand new English course that's available on a computer, tablet, or mobile phone. It's aimed at intermediate learners and charts a pathway through the various aspects of the language. And we hope that by committing around 15 minutes a day to using it, a learner will see a real improvement in their English knowledge and skill. But, as well as using resources available online, how else can someone help themselves to get a better grasp, that's a better understanding, of English? Well, if someone wants to become a confident speaker of English, trainer Richard Hallows has some tips. Have a listen and see if you can hear what are the two main aspects of English that you need.
Most importantly, you've got to have a good range of vocabulary and grammar. You need to know lots of words.
First, what do you need first for learning good English? Vocabulary and grammar. Well, you already have the grammar, probably. You just need the vocabulary, right? They talked about a grasp. You know that word? G-R-A-S-P. Grasp. Now you can grasp something, like grab something, grasp, okay? But you can also grasp or understand. You know, like if somebody is speaking with you, you could say, well, I grasp what you say. I understand what you say. Okay? Okay.
The more words you know, the better, obviously. And similarly with grammar, the more grammar you have, the better you can explain yourself. And we also need to think about pronunciation. Learners of English often worry about speaking like a native speaker. It's not necessary to have a native accent.
Okay, so Richard says you need...
He said, don't worry about pronunciation. Okay, now if you learn nothing else today, try to remember that. Don't worry about pronunciation. You know, when you stand up and you tell me your name, and I try to say it back, I know you think, and I am, my pronunciation is bad, right? No, you're not supposed to agree with me. So, it is bad. So, I can't worry about that. I just have to try to say it however I think I can, you know? You have to do the same thing with English. You have to just speak, okay? And don't worry about the... Yeah, and they talk about the accent. In Vietnam, you have the north, the central, and the south, right? And they have different accents in each area of Vietnam, yes? It's the same in many countries. In the United States, you know, I live on the West Coast, and my accent, you know, there's not much accent really. But if I go to the East Coast, there's different accents. If I go to the south of the United States, there's different accents.
Good range or wide variety of vocabulary and grammar. The more words you know, the more you can say. And the more grammar you know, the better you can say it.
Or even write it. One other tip is don't try to sound like a native. So someone who speaks English as a first language. Well, all these are things that we aim to cover in our new course.
Our new course might be a big help to you if you need English for your work, or if you're studying in English, or if you're planning to visit or even live in the UK. In fact, the British government expects immigrants to reach ESOL Entry 3 or B1 level before they can be granted citizenship. It's equivalent to being able to hold a reasonably confident basic conversation.
Well, in the UK, it's estimated that you need around hours of study to get to that stage from not knowing any English at all. But this depends on the...
They said in England, you need at least 360 hours of study to be good at speaking. Okay? Not fluent, not quite fluent, but a lot of time. And that's, that's what you need to do, and you just keep practicing.
Through factors such as motivation, how much you want to learn, and age can be a factor.
Okay. You talked about motivation. Okay, you know that word? Okay. For example, if you're on a football team and you're playing a game, you're often motivated to win, right? You don't want to lose, right? Okay. If you're in English class and you don't want to learn English, you're not motivated. You won't learn, right? But if you really think, okay, I'm going to have a job somewhere where I'm going to need English, and I'm going somewhere abroad, then I'm going to need English. Then you feel a little more motivated. Now, a lot of that motivation comes from within, inside of you. So you have to push yourself, or you have to have some drive, some energy to say, okay, I want to have a better life, I want to have some improvement somewhere. Then you gotta motivate yourself. Okay.
Okay. 2. Some experts say it's common for children under the age of 11 to be very immersed and be fluent in English in about 6 months. But why should someone...
Okay. He said before, the younger you are, the easier and the faster you can learn a language. So if I want to learn Vietnamese, and I'm 68 years old, there's hardly any chance. Okay? But if I was 11, or if I was 5, okay, I could probably learn it quickly. There's been studies done where babies, 2 years old, can learn a language very quickly. Okay. So right now, a lot of you are 18, 20, 22, 25. You're still young. You can still learn. Okay? Now, the easier part of English learning, too, is that you see it everywhere, you hear it everywhere. If it was another language that wasn't as common, it might be harder for you to learn, even though you're young.
English. This is something we've been asking you on our Facebook page.
Osama says, it's like my passport. You need it wherever you go.
Very good. Suzuki says, it's an international communication tool.
And Ha thinks it's the key to getting a good job with a high salary.
Denise says, it's the language that opens doors overseas. Wow. Well, thanks for...
So they gave 3 reasons maybe to learn English.
Tìm ra 3 lý do để bạn muốn học tiếng Anh.
Okay. One, it says it's the language to open doors for you to get a
Tiếng Anh sẽ mở cửa cho bạn.
Job, a better job somewhere. Okay. I forget what the other 2 were, but you need to think about that. And
Bạn phải nghĩ cái điều đó hàng ngày.
any job, if you can speak 2 languages, any job, it's better for you. If you could speak 3, it would be better.
Nếu bạn nói được 2 ngôn ngữ thì rất tốt.
Nowadays, when you want some product, you buy something maybe on the computer, that what you buy might come from another country. Easy, you know? It is a small world these days.
Tiếng Anh nó làm cho thế giới nhỏ hơn.
So everybody is communicating with everybody else, no
Bạn có thể
matter
nói
where
không?
they
Tất cả
live.
với người trên thế giới.
You probably maybe chat with somebody in another
Có thể
country.
chat với những người nước khác.
But now, Rob, I need to know if I got